Basketball schedule's out. Now, do we know the exact days? No. Do we know the time? No. But we do know the order in which the Tar Heels will play their conference games. We had known the non-conference action, and we know the location of said game. So this came out on Tuesday evening earlier this week. So, Adam, the schedule is there we go. It was just taking a second for me to see it. The thing that stood out to me, there are a lot of road games early in conference play. Basically, the whole month of January, the Tar Heels are gone, where they are at SMU, which, I mean, let's be honest, Pony Bros is going to be a great time.
We'll probably stay out there.
January 3rd, they're going to still be partying from New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
We're just going to party the whole time.
They call it New Year's week, I think,
yeah.
at SMU.
Then you are at home against Wake, but then at Stanford, at Cal, home against Notre Dame, at Virginia, at Georgia Tech. So that is a lot of and there's some long trips there, SMU, Stanford, Cal. That is a stretch, and then you play that road game against Georgia Tech, and, congratulations, you get a Monday game against Syracuse at home. So that is a lot of road action. Now, of course, it's all going to even up where the Heels their last 3 home games before the Duke finale in Cameron are all at home against Louisville, Virginia Tech, and Clemson, so some good teams there coming in. But that stretch in January, that is a lot of road games against some good teams, long trips. That will be a interesting stretch for sure.
3 of the first 5 ACC games on the road and 5 of the first 8. So, as Jones said, it'll even out at the end, but as everyone in college basketball, Tar Heels trying to put some new pieces together. You don't have a very long learning curve before you have to go on the road. Now, Carolina will have gone to Kentucky, which will be in somewhat of a similar situation. So they will have played a road game before that first one at SMU and conference. But you're going to have to figure out how to play away from home early. Now, some of that's not all bad. Like, I imagine SMU students will not be there for that game. So that is a plus, I would think. I've never been to SMU, know nothing about Moody Coliseum.
Sure.
So maybe they all live within a mile of the arena, but I don't think so. It's a private school. So that could be a little bit of a break. The California trip we know is going to be difficult. Carolina didn't have to do it last year. They'll just go out for that entire week. Assuming the game's on Wednesday, probably leave on Monday, play the game on Wednesday, stay out there, play the game on Saturday, come home on what will likely be a delightful flight. And then
it's a long trip. That is a long trip.
In terms of quantity of days or miles?
Both.
Yeah, both are true. But
the Grim Reaper comes for us all at some point, Adam. Tar Heels didn't have to do this at all last year. And now they get at Cal in football and this trip in basketball.
That being said, that California trip...
Tar Heels didn't vote for this, by the way.
I know somebody who did. That California trip, you get a chance to get 2 road wins against teams you should beat, probably. So get a couple road wins there early in the ACC and ride those up the conference standings. I mean, look, see our legal team can just give this an annual.
Yeah,
how can you justify that?
Let's just give it to it.
It is completely absurd. And this is not the first time, nor will this ever be the last time that we say this, to quote unquote give fans a schedule that has no times, and on a third of the games, you don't know what day they are.
It's like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Like, look, Jones and I are going to the games no matter what, so it doesn't really matter to us. But if I'm a Tar Heel fan and I'm trying to plan a trip to Chapel Hill or just plan my life in general, whether it's on Tuesday or Wednesday is pretty significant to me.
I'm looking at this out. The Stanford game is listed that way. I would assume that would affect the Tar Heels' travel pretty significantly, whether you're playing Tuesday or Wednesday.
I talked to someone this week who is in charge of planning the Tar Heels' travel and said this was making it very difficult to get flights and hotels.
I bet.
Because they don't know what day the game actually is for several of these trips. Now, in a couple of these cases, I think the Tar Heels have a pretty good idea of what day the game is, but that doesn't help me if I'm trying to buy tickets to a game. what about what time the game is? What's the appropriate time to tell someone who you want to spend $100 on a ticket what time it starts? Evidently not 2 months before. It's completely ludicrous. And when we sit here and bemoan, well, the attendance wasn't what you wanted it to be, why don't you take a look back in September when you didn't tell them what day it was or what time it started and wonder why the ticket sales are down? Because you're making it too hard. You're making it too hard for people to come to the games, so don't complain about them not coming. We say this every year. It's true every year. You've got to do better if you want people to prioritize it, because otherwise they make other plans. People have other things to do than sit around and wait for our overlords at big television to tell them what time they should spend hundreds of dollars to come possibly from hundreds of miles away to watch a game.